Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and today we're gonna take a look at the Renault G1. That is this thing. It looks a bit funky, and it is a bit funky. We have a two patches ago new, French medium tank. Let me go to the tech tree. It is situated right here. As you can see, I already went past all this a long time ago. I have the 5120 research, so I really didn't have to go down here. I just wanted to take a look at this tank and see if it was any fun to play. And right now, this is the only French medium I can actually get, because there are no other, well, not really any decent French mediums. Actually, no, there are none. I'm just looking right now. No, wait, before this line, I mean. None of these are, well, actually, the D2 is a medium, considered a medium, but not really one I want. So I was looking for a crew for my CDC because, you know, I had a CDC crew, which is a new crew, so it sucked balls. But I needed something to train the crew, you know, double train it. And I figured, well, I'll just give this tank a go until I get my batch out, of course, or my AMX 30, which I'm gonna get eventually. So I figured, you know, I'll get something to train my crew in and hopefully have some fun in. So I figured I'll try out the G1, G1R, which is really weird because it's a Renault G1, but in short, you know, the short name, it's a G1R. So, the G1R, it looks really funky when it's stock. Let's see if I can show you. Let's get the stock gun and the stock, yeah, I'll have to buy it, well, for you. Yeah. I'm kind of sad that you can't keep this turret, because it is very, very, very rounded and very flat, and the upgraded turret makes the profile of this thing so much larger. Like, it's gigantic. And I kind of like the look of this thing. It looks absurd, but I like it. It's like a beefed up duck, and I like it. But no, sadly, if you want any upgraded guns, you're gonna have to go for that. And otherwise you're going to be stuck with this, which isn't the most horrifically bad gun, but 74 penetration is slightly less than fantastic. By quite a bit. Let's actually reload our ammunition here before I forget. So, what do you get? You get a French tier 5 medium tank that has decent mobility. It's not fantastic, but it's decent mobility. 460 horsepower engine, 450 horsepower engine, there we go, and 460 health, which is pretty average for tier 5. It's pretty much the same as most of the other mediums at tier 5 as well. Top speed of 40, this thing cruises around at about 35. It definitely can reach 40 on hills and that sort of stuff, but cruising speed I would estimate more around 35. Horsepower per ton ratio is not that fantastic. Let's take a look. 12.95, as you can see, specific power. It's not fantastic, so you do notice it in the acceleration. It is not great. Turret reverse at 30, also not fantastic. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It can definitely move and, you know, turn and all that. It's not stuck and immovable, but it's, for a medium, it's not that maneuverable, really. It feels more like a slight heavy. But once we get to the armor, it's only 60 millimeters, pretty much everywhere. So it's as simple as that, it's 60 everywhere. But the upper armor is actually pretty sloped and does actually bounce quite a bit. Let's take a brief look just at the armor. Armor use efficiency, I can speak, 0.35. So that's actually not bad. On average, I block 126 damage. So let's say one shell on average that I block. How close am I to this? 33% in only 18 battles. Ooh, that's not bad. Spoilers. There's some medals there. Anyways, so let's take a look at the gun. Now, on the right hand side here, we have the Renault G1 guns, both of them, and in the middle we have the Sherman 3, the British tier 5 medium, and on the far left here we have the M4 Sherman, the American tier 5, and all three of these get a 105mm. So let's just compare them. These two, the Sherman and the Sherman 3 and the M4 Sherman, are pretty much identical, if not completely identical. I think they're completely, yeah, just the weight of this thing is insanely less than this one. I have no idea why, but sure, whatever. But once we compare it to the French one, we notice that the rate of fire is, I'm not going to say considerably worse, but 10% worse. That's quite considerable, really. 0.55 accuracy, 0.55, 0.54, so it does have a slight, but I mean, come on, 0.01 better accuracy does not make up for the fact that this thing has a 2.6 second aim time. So you not only have a worse rate of fire, you also have a worse aim time. And I think that while it being good in certain situations, the 105 is not really worth it. I don't know, it doesn't seem to work on this tank. The rate of fire is not fantastic to have that worse, because it's already pretty bad on these tanks. And sure, you can have amazing games with the 105, don't get me wrong, absolutely possible. But you have to find a tank every time you reload it, and if they come in after you between your reloads, they're just gonna kill you because you don't have that much health. So I feel like the derp gun on this thing, the 105mm, is just lacking. It's just not quite good enough. Especially when compared to the M4, or well, both Shermans, easier. It's just not quite it. It doesn't really work all that well. So let's take a look at the other gun options here. And we do have a 75mm, which is comparable to the 76mm on the Shermans. Rate of fire of 12 and 13. Rate of fire on the French one here is 15.38. Pretty good rate of fire. While the penetration is lacking at only 100 versus 128 on both of those, and doing 110 damage, which is only ever so slightly less than these two. But you do get 0.39 accuracy, which is considerably less than the Shermans, and you get a way better aiming time. So I feel like the 75mm is actually not a bad gun. If you can live with the slightly less penetration than the other two, and the ever so slightly less damage. So there is a little bit of a difference between them, but it does feel like the more solid gun out of the two. Now, like I said, you can definitely do damage with the 100mm, but I just feel like this one is way more stable when it comes to continuous damage output. The 105, like I said, if you run into the right, or for them, wrong tank, you can just one-shot tanks. Doing 410 average damage is possible. I've one-shot somebody who had 410 health. Exactly. So that is very doable, but I just noticed that playing a couple of games with the derp gun, it is highly inconsistent. You'll shoot a light tank in the side with 200 health remaining and you'll do 100 damage. That kind of shit. You know, not that this gun would have one-shotted him, but still, something with 410 damage, you would at least expect it to blow up a light tank, but... And shooting in the rear of a tank, I did an ass shot, 115 damage. It's like, huh? Fully aimed shot in his engine deck, 115 damage out of 410 average. It's just, those things just piss me off. And I know it's the nature of a derp gun to be, like, as erratic as anything, but it's just, I don't like it. I like to be consistent with my damage output. Now, a derp gun can definitely be fun, it's just, on this particular tank, it doesn't seem to work too well. Turret reverse is also not that fantastic at 28 degrees, so you have a pretty slow loading gun, slow aim time with a slow turret reverse, and the track reverse on this thing is also not that fantastic at 30. It's not bad, but definitely quite far from fantastic. So the whole package just makes me at least think that the 75mm is the better gun, but a lot of you are just gonna go for the derp gun for the fun effect, and I totally understand. If you have good games with it, then all the power to you. My games just seem to be shittier and shittier with the 105mm, and I'd rather stick to something with more consistent damage output. Let's take a quick look at my stats here. What do I have so far? 56% win rate. Average experience, not fantastic, but it is a tier 5, so... But, yeah, needs work. I don't have a good crew, as you saw, so... Yeah, I played this thing with pretty much a stock crew, or close to it, like a 75% crew-ish. Not that great. Maximum experience, maximum damage, not too bad. Got decent spotting damage. My damage ratio is not bad at all. Destruction ratio isn't bad. And my spotted and destroyed ratios are not bad at all. So I'm doing pretty well in this tank, and I'm probably going to keep it, but... Yeah, not with the 105. That just doesn't do it for me. Yeah. So let's get to some gameplay, shall we? And here we are with the gameplay. So I'm platooned up with Solmeya here, and he's in his VK 3001H, and we're actually not gonna see him. He's gonna head over to the other flank. So let's head over to this flank, and here you can see the speed of this thing. Yeah, it can do about 40. Like I said, cruising speed, I would estimate at 35. Some of these rocks are really low res. What the hell? Sorry, distracted. Yeah, I was actually looking at it during the game as well, like, why is so low res? Anywho. So, yeah, as you can see, the speed in this thing, it's not great, but it's definitely not bad. For medium, it's, not bad at all, really. It's pretty reasonably mobile. So I'm actually sporting the 75mm gun here, not the 105. I've tried like 5-6 games with the I need coffee with the 105, and I just don't like it. It just does not seem to function for me. Yeah, T-34, and I'm kind of scared here that I got spotted. As I said before, my crew is not fantastic on this thing, so no 6th sense. Hell, my crew isn't even at 90% yet, I think. Or they're only just about at 90, so yeah. So we pull back, and let's take a look here. Can we get a line? Is he gonna move forward? Is anyone gonna pull back? Doesn't seem like it. Well, since we're not getting shot by artillery, I'm gonna assume that we're not spotted right now. Very tempted to shoot there. Oh crap, Dicker Max. Pulling back. Put one shot in on the move, and we light him on fire. Oh man. And did you just see that? I actually can shoot through this rock. Like the little outcrop. Actually get an outline on him. Huh. And where is he? Artillery trying to put in a shell. Doesn't seem to manage. I have no idea how this guy hasn't spotted me. Or just didn't want to fire at me. I have no idea. But we just picked up our first kill. Woohoo! So, that's one tank gone. We have an M4 left. Well, an M4 and a T-34. Let's see if we can put some shells into the M4. And... come on. Yeah, here I was testing the rock, but yeah, apparently there's a bug in this rock here. Like, the absolute outline of it is not... What? At this point I was really confused, because I was thinking that I got hit from our base. I was thinking that the Matilda hit me, and I'm trying to figure out, like, where did I get hit? What the hell? As you can see, I was very, very, very confused. And I was thinking, like, did that Matilda just shoot at me? Oh, that thing shot at me. Where the hell did he come from? Bullshit, camouflage anyone? Sheesh. And as you can see here, this gun is not bad. When you're looking at something like that, and that was his first penetrating shot, by the way. So all the other shots were just bounces. So yeah, this gun is actually pretty good. It has a pretty good rate of fire, and the penetration is a bit lacking. I'll definitely admit to that. But rate of fire is good, and the aim time is pretty good at 2 seconds, and the accuracy at 0.39 for a tier 5. Let me just add that a little bit. Is not bad at all either. If you definitely compare it to other tier 5s, then yeah, it's pretty good. So the teams are. Well, the enemy team is losing, let's put it like that. They still have a full health KV-220. Well, yeah, full health. And here again you can see the cruising speed. Actually, no, I was wrong. The cruising speed is around 40. You can do 40 pretty decently. Huh. So yeah, the speed is not bad. Gun, I can live with it. I actually kind of like it. Rather this one than the 105, to be honest, but yeah. That was a Matilda up here, and I just went over here because I just saw, you know, the flank getting murdered, so I figured, well, I'm gonna have to go up here and help these guys out, and I was hoping to get there before people died out, but alas, it was not to be. So, can we play cleanup? Let's take a look, shall we? So, we shifted pretty decently across the map here. Get over there, nothing. Oh, T-67. And he has a couple of marks on his barrel, so don't want to tango with him too long. And we bounce a shot there. Don't want to go forward too far. Put another shot in, bit of a lucky one to be honest. Angling, and we finish him off. We do take a lot of shots to the face there. We have a Matilda Black Prince. We had a Matilda Black Prince. We have a T-150, and try to put one in. Don't actually manage, he misses. Come on. And we put one in, and we light him on fire. Sweet. We have artillery over here. Put one in. I think we scared him because the exact moment we put a shot in, he fired his, so I think he just got scared there. And we finish him off as well. His rate of fire is actually pretty good, and this was almost my own artillery killing me, by the way. Did you hear that shell coming in? He almost friggin' killed me. Thanks. Helpful. It's like, you know, I completely had this. Don't even shoot. It's not necessary. Gah. So, we spawned with the KV-220. And this is where you'll notice some of the penetration issues. Went straight into his engine deck there. Straight into his ass. Doesn't pen. Again, doesn't pen. So, yeah, that wasn't gonna be. Yeah. And that's the game. Not too bad. Let's take a look at the stats. And here we are with the stats. We got a mastery badge, ace tanker out of it. Not too shabby. Fire for effect, we got a sharpshooter, we got an arsonist, we lit 2 people on fire. Only killed 1 with the fire though, but still funny. Master gunner, duelist, bruiser, and a top gun. Not too shabby. Take a look at the team score here. Walked away with 1200 experience, did 1700 damage. And that's what I mean with this gun. Yeah, the derp gun can do a lot of damage in one shot, but this thing is so much more consistent in dealing damage. Much more consistent, and that's what I like. I'd rather have consistent damage over, you know, all my games than have that one amazing game doing a lot and then just having shit games after. So we took 7 hits, 4 of them penetrated, 3 did not, so the armor actually does hold up in actual gameplay. It's not uber armor, you know, you don't bounce anything and everything, but it still has a good chance to bounce. And for our total double here, we got 2500 experience, which isn't too shabby. So that is the Renault G1 for you, the G1R if you look at the short name. And to me it seems like a pretty fun tank, and I would say the better alternative to getting to the French tier 6 heavies, you know, going down the line as it were. I'd rather take this line than go down the light tank bullshit line with all the crap tanks. This seems like a better line to go. So it's a good new chance to go down the French line and just have a little bit more fun while doing it and not bashing your head against your desk. So, Renault G1 gets a thumbs up from me. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.